guys, it's Whitney, and today I'm going to be doing the journaling tag. This is a different kind of tag than I normally do on my channel, and I haven't actually done a book tag in quite some time anyway. It's been probably about 5 months. I'm not exactly sure when it happened, but somewhere within the past 4 months, I decided to take up journaling again. The last time I did any kind of journaling was actually for an English class, and we were required to do it for a grade, so I don't know that that technically counts. I actually ran across this tag on Radical Rachel Vlogs channel, and I'll link that below so you guys can go and check out her video and possibly the rest of her channel if you like that video. After I watched her video, I went and scouted for the original tag video, and I found it on a channel called Book Party, and I will also link that channel in the description so you guys can go and check that one out. Okay, so I'm gonna stop babbling now and I'm gonna get on to the questions. What kind of journaling do you do? So for those of you who didn't know, there are a bunch of different types of journaling, and I can't say that I actually do any one type consistently. I actually take from all of them and just like throw whatever I feel like into the journal. That's how I roll. If you're interested in looking up some of the types of journaling that I know about, there is art journaling, bullet journaling, obviously dream journals, which, you know, are your dreams. So I'm not sure that you actually need to go and look that up. Those are really the only ones that I know have names. I'm sure there are a ton more. So yeah, long story short, my journaling style is kind of a combination of all the other ones, just pretty much whatever I feel like putting in the journal. Do you have different journals for different topics? At the moment, I am keeping 2 journals. I am keeping one for just general thoughts, feelings, things that pop in my head that aren't writing related. The other journal that I'm keeping is actually, I call it a writing/dream journal because generally the dreams that I do remember are something that I can pull story ideas from, so I go ahead and write them in my writing journal. And I have to say, I've gotten a lot of good inspiration from dreams here lately. When did you start journaling? I only started journaling about 4 or so months ago. Actually, it was around the time Mockingjay Part 2 came out, I believe, because I have the ticket stubs in the journal. Before that, when I was younger, I would sometimes write down things that I was feeling. I don't know that it technically counts as journaling because it wasn't consistent in any way, shape, or form. How often do you write in your journal? I personally write in my journal when I feel like it. I would like to be one of those people who journaled every day, but my days can be the same. And it's kind of boring to write and think about the same boring, repetitive things that I did at work. So I'll kind of just write down things when I feel like it or when I feel like it's necessary. What are your favorite tools for journaling? I only have a few go-to items for journaling, and I love them dearly. One is my printer. Shout out to you, printer. The second go-to item are these pens. These are my favorite pens to journal with. They are by Staedtler. I am not sure at all that I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm just doing my best. I got these neon ones at Target, and I got these, they're not primary colors, but I got this pack at Michael's. They can be a little bit pricey, but if you have a coupon at Michael's, you can get things like 40% off and a half off, which makes it a whole lot better. And honestly, I really like these pens, so they're worth it to me. And my last favorite thing that I always use when I journal is washi tape. I don't tend to go for very bright colors, it seems. There are a ton of different designs, but I tend to stick with these. It looks like beige, off-whites, blacks. That's kind of, you know, my thing. Black is kind of my thing. But you can get washi tape pretty much anywhere. It can get expensive, but they do have some that aren't expensive. And like I said before, coupons will save you a bundle on stuff like this. It's not something that you necessarily need in your journal. It's just something that I really like. It kind of just makes it not feel so plain to me, if that I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but it is what it is. Would you like to show us some of your journals? Like I said earlier, I'm keeping 2 journals. The first one is this one. It has create a billion times on the cover with this one pop of color here. I got this at Books A Million. Something about it just called to me, so I picked it up. I have a ton of unused notebooks and journals, so if you guys want to see that, just let me know in the comments and I am sure I can have that arranged. This is my everyday thoughts, feelings journal, and I'll give you a quick little overview. I'm not gonna go too in-depth or anything with this because I don't have a lot in here, but I always leave the first page kind of blank. I may end up adding like art or something on here, but at the moment it just has my start date, and when I finish it up it'll have my end date. The second page is just this random page that I did, and I have this thing where I cut out characters on the pop boxes. Don't ask me, I'm a hoarder. And for some reason I couldn't think of anything to do on the back of that page. Then we just have some writing, and this was the day that we went to see Mockingjay Part 2. Those are the ticket stubs there. And just some more random writing, quote up here, some washi tape, and these over here were the Cramathon challenges, and I actually ended up not doing the Cramathon because I got too busy and, you know, life. And see, that's all I got so far, but you know, hey, it's something. The second journal that I use, I think, is my favorite, and it is this faux leather-bound journal. Funnily enough, this journal and the other one have the same end page decoration. This one's a little hard to hold, so bear with me. So like I said, I leave that first page blank, and I just wanted to get something on the first page here. So this is sort of just a rundown of like brainstorming for this inspiration. This is lyrics for a Voltaire song that I am going to be using to write kind of like a mini series, and I just couldn't figure out where to go. So I skipped some pages, and this was the first time that I had a noteworthy dream that I could remember. And these are some of the inspirational pictures that I was talking about that I print out. Up here you've got this is the scene with Vicious and Spike in the church. Here you have Bill Skarsgård, and then down here you have kind of like the war armor bloodiness that went along with all the rest of the dream. And the tail end of the dream. And here on this page over here, I have another noteworthy dream, and this was just some wizard guy chasing people around a mall, but it got kind of dark toward the end. So I wrote it down. And then I tried something new on this page over here. This says February. I'm not sure that you can actually read it. And then I have some of my reading and writing goals, like finish character sheets for Akurum, which is a novel that I'm working on currently. And I also have here that I need to reread some chapters of my novel because I've kind of haven't written on it in a little while, and I need to re-immerse myself in the world. And I've kind of gotten over that thing where the terrible writing, you know, puts you down. I just kind of, you know, roll with it now, and I get over it because, you know, editing. You can fix things in editing, it doesn't matter. And here I have just a little graphic that I tried to do of how many words I wanted to write, and I'm failing miserably because this month I just haven't written. And down here I have it to be read. And that's all I got so far on this one, but, you know, hey, why do you journal? I journal because I have a lot of thoughts that most people aren't really gonna want to hear, and it's more things that I need to work out for myself, about myself, or about a certain situation or a certain feeling, and it's just not something that other people necessarily need to be burdened with or even need to know is happening, if that makes any sense. So it's a good way for me to get the frustrations and confusion out. Also, for my writing journal is very, very good for me to keep those ideas that I feel could be used somewhere one day. Not necessarily in the way that I intended when I first wrote them down, but just as a general thought. I do sometimes find myself not writing down certain things though, because I know once I write them down, they're out there and I have to deal with those topics that might not be so easy for me to deal with. And there's also the thing about people possibly finding journals, which if they found my writing journal, they might just think I was a fucking lunatic. How has journaling influenced your life? Journaling has influenced my life very slightly, but I haven't been doing it long. The one thing that I've noticed since I started journaling is that I do pay attention to smaller details that happen now, and I also find that it's easier to remember the things that I do write down, which is awesome because I do have a tendency to be really forgetful, and writing things down tends to cement them in my brain. What topics do you like to write about? I write about pretty much anything and everything. For example, the first thing that I wrote in my everyday journal was, fandoms are simultaneously the bane of my existence and the love of my life. And then I have Snape here, and he says, Harry Potter was my gateway drug. It was my gateway drug into fan fiction and real writing. I did watch a lot of anime, and those used to trigger some like fan fiction in my head that I never actually put down on paper. So pretty much anything goes. And how do you make time for journaling? Journaling's not something I really have to make time for. Seeing as I don't really journal every day and I just journal when I feel like it doesn't feel like something I need to make time for because I just do it when I feel like I should do it. Do you have tips for people who want to start the habit? Seeing as I am still new to journaling, I really only have 2 pieces of advice. The first being, learn to pay attention to the small things that happen around you. The second is, when you go on Instagram or on Tumblr or on Twitter even, and you see these beautiful journals, do not compare your journal to that journal or let those journals discourage you. It doesn't matter what it looks like. If you want it to look a certain way, then go for it. That is your personal thing. If all you want to do with your journal is write down your thoughts and have it be all writing and nothing else, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't let anybody tell you how you have to journal. Those were all of the questions. I'm going to tag 2 people. I'm going to tag 1 WhittyNovels and 2 SR Corrillo. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Been in pain like me, bought $100 bottle of champagne like me, just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Would you use your water bill to dry the stain like me?